Welcome, adventurers, to Probability of Demise, the podcast where critical fumbles meet critical facepalms. Join us as we delve into the darkest dungeons, slay the stupidest gremlins, and roll enough ones to make a beholder weep. Forget epic storylines and heroic deeds. Here we celebrate the chaotic beauty of bad rolls, questionable decisions, and characters with more charisma than sense. We'll be your dungeon masters of disappointment, guiding you through campaigns where the only guaranteed treasure is a mountain of laughter, and maybe some psychic scarring. So grab your Nat 1 dice, strap on your anxiety helmets, and prepare to witness the glorious train wreck that is our D&D journey. Because, in the end, even if your character dies face first into a pile of pudding, at least you'll have the dice god's permission to laugh your ass off. Welcome to Probability of Demise, Episode 2, and we're sticking to format.
Word of the day.
Jess, what is the word of the day?
That's me. All right, friends and families and travelers alike, let us see what the word of the day has in store for us today. That rhymed. Look at me. Excuse me one moment. The number is 26. Today's word of the day is ubiquitous, which means, where's my list? There's my list. Okay. Present, appearing, or found somewhere. So, used in a sentence, technology has become ubiquitous in our daily lives, influencing every aspect. Thank you. And that, my friends, is the word of the day. You've learned something new.
And I don't think we used the word of the day last time. At least I didn't catch it. So maybe we'll be ubiquitous in our use of the word of the day from here on out. So that takes us to our recap. And last time, you were introduced to the glittering yet seedy underbelly of the Skyway Strip in Overton. Our rumpled Kenku P.I., Sticky Beak, brought the three of you together with a desperate plea for help. The famed soprano, Celeste Nightingale, was killed on stage, clutching a half-eaten fortune cookie. With the Ascended Council up to something, and the Hollow Council up to something, Sticky Beak threw the dice and asked you, an unlikely trio of strangers, to unravel the murderous melody. Intrigued by the whispers of blackmail and secrets, you plunged into the Skylark's backstage world. Each troop member possibly has veiled motives and reasons. A jealous rival with a hunger for the spotlight, a debt-ridden costume designer with a talent for poisoned embroidery, and a ledger hinting at financial shadows within the theater. The suspects were many, the truth elusive, but you have centered your sights on the missing stage manager. And amidst it all, you, Seraphina, Gesunden Schniffel, and Ulua are meeting for the first time, navigating a chorus of ratty lies and sharp clues to find the killer before the final curtain falls on artistic freedom. As we dive back in, we are just outside the theater. I'm going to move us forward in time a little bit. Trying to figure out where the stage manager has gone. What are the three of you up to? Are you going to try to find clues to track him? Are you going to ask people if they've seen this individual? Or are you have your own ways of discovering the whereabouts? Snitches and other such shenanigans.
I mean, I have an address, or at least a building.
No, not me.
Inquisitor's house, I think or it was not the full name of it. Something Inquisitor's house.
I got it. Hang on.
Did we want to go there? I did know Sticky Beak did ask for us to meet him at my brother's office. all of us. If we wanted to go ahead and update them, or we could do that after.
I think we could certainly check in. Sticky Beak may be able to provide some insight, maybe, I don't know, employ some other means to assist us in finding this Grundon.
Perhaps we should check and see if he is home, and then go from there. The state thing.
Oh, yes, yeah.
All right. In terms of approach, maybe
you have to knock first.
Yes, of course. I understand. I simply mean it may be if he is involved somehow, of the three of us, it may look the least intimidating for me to approach the door at first and inquire, rather than one of our city watch's retirees, I believe. Your name is familiar, but we've never met in person.
Yeah, you look super familiar, but not either.
I
do, or he does?
Yeah, he does. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
was
Like-
a homicide investigator for many years
Homicide investigator.
with the shitty watch.
With the
With the city watch.
Thank you.
Shitty watch. Yeah. Well.
Yes,
Investigator.
I mean, this is certainly my first foray into this type of situation. I must admit I'm a little out of my depth. This isn't my usual assignment.
Were you like famous?
I believe she's caught up.
Sort of.
But like
I gained
a while ago.
I gained some renown in my career for high-profile cases. Yes.
I think you're the guy that my brother really liked. Like really liked you. You know, he became a detective because I think because of you. I think.
Oh, well, that's nice to hear, I suppose.
It's gonna be really awkward if it's not you. But I think it's you. I don't remember the name of the investigator. I didn't really care that much. But he loved you.
Well, I was probably a younger gnome then, so.
Yeah, he has this picture of you, but young.
Not one for tact.
Maybe
Are you?
Oh, for what?
Oh, it's no secret that I'm no spring chicken anymore.
Yes, but
Oh, because I'm calling him old. I mean, you're not old. You're just, older.
I'm oldish.
Well, you look great. I think you look just swell.
Thank you. I think.
So wait, I actually, did I know your names yet? I don't know if I know your names yet.
My name.
I know you're famous.
My name is.
But I should know your name. Gugundin.
Call me Gus.
Gus. Okay, good. Gus. That I can say. Gus. And there. Yes, lady. Your name?
Oh, I'm Ulua.
What? Lua?
Ulua.
Ulua. Ooh. Ulua. Oh, it's a good name.
The accent's on the lu, so Ulua. Like a melody.
Ulua.
Yes. Well done.
Nice. Okay, cool.
And
Ulua. I guess.
Yes.
Mine?
Yes. Your name.
Right. Didn't tell you that. Works both ways. Seraphina.
What a lovely name. Certainly.
Yes.
Fits a lovely creature like yourself.
She's like trying to get all her hair out of her horns, try to appear presentable. Like, yeah. I'm very attractive.
Extra, read all about it. Skylark Theater shutting down. Extra, read all about it.
That didn't take long.
Shutting down? Like permanently?
Rick, is this like a newspaper salesman?
It's a newsie.
Newsie? Okay. I'm going to go over to the newsie and buy a paper.
You buy a paper. It's a couple of silver coins. He kind of like first tries to haggle with you for a moment, then kind of looks you up and down and goes, locals. You see printed on the headline that the Skylark Theater has met its match and is going under. Their financial woes are too great. And as you're reading through it, you're reading all sorts of things about how the theater was never doing well financially anyways, that there were problems with it, that there were poor management practices going on. And what's interesting, if you would like, you can roll a investigation check as you're reading some of this information.
Investigation.
I'm a crappy detective. 8.
Or are you a good
surprising that they
detective?
could actually print something this quickly. Suspiciously, as
that was mine. That's why I bought one, because it was very suspicious.
Do you share it with the others?
Yeah, I'll bring it over and hand it to, or hold it up to the both of them if one of them wants to take it. That's very sudden. An article.
I want to take it
already
and
within minutes.
Read the article. I assume she's a very quick read, unlike I am. So she like skims it in like 2 seconds, and then she starts reading all the other things.
Yeah, you start reading it, and this is, especially as you're reading the other things on it, you realize that these other articles are stories that seem a little spectacular, a little outlandish.
I'm going to approach the newsie and ask, by chance, can you tell me about how long ago these papers were delivered to you?
Ma'am? Yeah. What do you want to know?
Just how long they've been in your possession. I'm curious as to how fresh the news is.
Oh, well, yeah. We pick these up every hour on the hour, and it's not that great.
How do you mean?
You're really pretty.
Oh, thank you.
So,
You're quite handsome.
well, like stories like, 3-headed goat on stilts. Not exactly credible, right?
Oh, well, everybody loves, I'm an entertainer myself, and everybody loves a form of entertainment, whether it be in written form or,
Oh, maybe you want to buy a paper. There's a great article here about the Singing Mountain. It's like a bard with a voice like gravel is climbing a summit, and it just started singing. And then the village got hiccups. I don't actually follow some of these articles. They don't make a lot of sense.
That's all right. I would love one. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, here you go.
And who?
1 silver for the pretty lady.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. I'll be back again
Roll a
to make
perception
up
check.
for it. Uh-oh. Not my forte. Definitely not my forte. 6.
You don't notice it now, but later on, sometime during the evening, you'll realize that your purse was just a little bit heavier earlier.
That little shit.
He grabbed 2 gold coins.
Rude.
Total little shit.
Well,
his partner in crime was a total little shit.
And who is your printer?
Well, I think old Benji down the street, they're the printer. And then I think they work for Gutafizin's Guild, and I think they work for the Menageries Guild, and I think that they work for a businessman, one of those hoity-toity types down south in the Alchemist Alley. And then I think that they work for somebody else, but maybe that was one of these articles. You know, there's an article about the teacup alchemist, Mildred. She's a tea maker. She discovered that her teaspoons possess the power to transmute water into any beverage imaginable. And, sorry, I'm realizing I'm rambling here.
That's all right. It's your, it's in your nature. That's why you're so very good at your job.
Oh, yeah, I am. I'm really good. I'm really good. I should keep going too.
So you said Benji down the street?
Yeah.
Okay, can you just point me in the right direction, please?
Okay. Well, it's right over there, and
they gesture over towards the outside, like an alley that leads outside of the strip. And there's a little shop right there on the corner. Fairly dark except for a single lantern lit within one of the windows on the ground level.
Perfect. Thank you for all your help, for the very helpful information, and for the deal.
Oh, no problem at all.
I rejoin my
my
group.
You hear off in the distance as he starts shouting out again.
Extra, extra. Pretty lady touched my hand. I'll hand you a paper if you hand me a coin.
Quite the opportunist.
Got to make a buck. Got to make a living.
And we're outside the theater now, right?
Yeah, you're in the street.
Can I just quickly, as she was maybe talking to the boy, I'd love to look around for any other maybe tracks or blood splots of like someone leaving, because they obviously didn't have the dagger anymore.
Roll a perception check.
Perception. Oh, only +1. Okay, gotta roll good. That's gonna be 12.
You look around and it's difficult to find things on these streets. These are well-traveled streets. This being right in front of the theater, a lot of people were leaving out of here. You know that there were a lot of things going on, and so it's difficult. What is your passive perception?
That's a good question. That would be
passive perception.
Passive and perception, 13.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you just see that there's a lot of
higher than anything I've rolled today.
Well, we just started.
Okay.
If I could roll something other than a single digit on a perception check, that would be awesome.
So yeah, I was just gonna look while she talked to the boy, and then when she was done, I'd walk back over.
Okay. So the three of you are there, Gus? Are you all headed
Just-
towards the
And my rat. The rat. I always end up with a rat.
Gus, the rat, Ulua, Seraphina? Where are you headed?
To the House of Inquiries. But as we walk there, I'm going to pick up on what I was saying before us and say. So, I what I was trying to say earlier is, it might be less conspicuous if I approach the building, and at least inquire whether or not Grundon is there. If especially you, and she gestures to Gus, if you come to the door, that might be a little might tip him off.
Oh, because you're
Um,
famous. Famous detective. They would scare him.
Yeah. Yes. So why don't I attempt to ascertain whether or not Grundon is in fact in the building, and if that is the case, then I will try to get us entry, or at least maybe get him to come to the door.
Yeah, you take the lead. Woo! Support you from over here.
Is that all right with you?
Yes, that works fine for me.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to put a hand on my chest and cast invisibility on myself, like before we go up to the door.
All right. So
Did you see him leave?
Still here.
Is he gonna murder someone? He has the dagger.
No, I have a
Oh.
spell for invisibility.
Oh,
I'll be quiet.
he's.
That
I
would
start
be-
just like reaching out, trying to find him.
Maybe we just assume.
But of
that
course,
he
like
can-
way above him.
Tact. All right. Stay here. I'll be right back. And I
Stay
go to
here.
approach the door.
Okay. You go and approach the door. There is a person stationed outside in a bit of heraldry. A fairly large staff, as there usually is in residences of this sort that are on the surface of Overton. They need, or they presume to need, some sort of foot person at the door, protecting the interests of the household. And they see you approach and step forward out of the shadow of the eave of the building. Ma'am.
Yes. Ulua.
Ma'am Ulua.
I don't know if you've heard of me, but I am Comshare, and I am currently seeking.
Did someone seek your services tonight?
I don't have an appointment. No, I'm actually seeking new clients. And I recently was visiting an old performance space of mine, and I'd heard that one of the members there might possibly be interested in my service, and so I came to possibly have a discussion about whether or not he would be interested in my companionship.
Your card, please, ma'am.
Of course. And I take out standard business card, scented faintly with a citrus, but also like warm flavor or scent flavor.
He turns and withdraws within the building, and you can hear a lock click heavily. And it takes a bit before he returns. But in that time, I would like those who are standing back to roll perception checks.
Can I possibly cast. Do I need to touch someone for bardic inspiration? No, I can just cast it from. Okay. I'm just going to glance over my shoulder at Seraphina because I can see her. And let me double check. I want to see.
Oh my god, what do you do to me?
Relax.
She casts death.
No, I'm interested to see how she casts bardic inspiration from a distance.
I look and I just can't remember. Is it just verbal or is it verbal and semantic?
I don't remember, but
I think there needs to be like a song, or you play an instrument. Like there has to be some kind of sound.
Right.
It's audio.
I just mean, is there also? So I'm just wondering if there's a hand gesture or not.
I just think it's just the audio.
Okay.
I mean, you could add a hand gesture.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to.
Yeah, it's just audio.
And I just, I peek a quick glance and I go, "Best of luck to you," and I just kind of blow a kiss to Seraphina.
It just goes.
She can't necessarily hear it, but
she sees
it like comes on the wind. I know, but I mean, it's
like
not.
You project your voice in such a way that it gets to her.
Yeah, it's kind of like a whisper on the wind, kind of.
Okay.
Volume.
And what is this? A plus what?
6 d6.
Whoa!
For your perception.
Gus,
check.
what did you get?
15.
15. Okay.
24.
Hey.
Oof, 24.
Thanks to that 6, I rolled a 6.
Both of you hear and see, just because of where you're at the angle of where the roof line is, it's 6 stories up. But you see at that 6th floor where it becomes shingles, there's a couple of windows, and you see one of those, because the sound draws your attention up there, you see one of those close a little harder than maybe was intended by the person who was slipping out, because Seraphina, you can make out that there is 3 figures crawling out of a window. And Gus, you can see that the window did open and close. You can't quite figure out what is going on up there, but you can tell that somebody has slipped out.
Can I move to like follow them around to see like where they go?
Yeah, definitely.
I assume like on the outside of the fence or whatever.
Yeah, and are you just trying to like shadow them?
Yeah, I just want to see like where the people that came out the window are going, or I guess if I can get eyes on them, if I didn't like specifically see how many there were. But
yeah, you can kind of follow the shadows and everything and kind of track them that way. Why don't you just go ahead and roll a survival check to see how successful you are at that?
13.
Awesome. You're able to track them pretty well. You're doing pretty well at seeing where they're going. They keep making noises as they're doing it, but you can tell that if they get too much further, you're going to have to actually leave Seraphina and Ulua to continue tracking them.
I am going to point my finger at Seraphina and send a message that says, "I'm going to follow these people that came out the window. I'll meet up with you in a minute." And then I'm going to continue to follow them.
Okay.
Telepathic.
I can send something back, right?
For message, I don't think so, no.
Just kidding.
Got it. Here's the message and can reply in a whisper. Okay, yeah.
I go, wait, what? Who is this? Oh, Gus. Oh, limited words. Right. I know how to do this.
No, not the message. Not sending.
Oh, just kidding. I have unlimited words. Okay, go.
Okay, I'll go.
All right.
Come back here, though.
Gus saunters off, following them, trying to split the range here. Ulua, it takes a while before the door is going to be opened. Do you continue waiting?
What's the weather like outside?
It's grim, but it's been threatening rain all day, but it hasn't yet rained.
And the temperature, is it chilly or is it?
We're moving from the cool seasons into the spring, so it's your cloak and your clothing, they keep you fairly well,
Okay.
but they've left you out here longer than you would have expected for this type of call. They either would have gotten rid of you fairly quickly, or they would have invited you inside. So this delay here is suspicious.
Okay. I'm just going to take a quick look around. Is there any sort of like tavern, coffee shop, anything nearby that I can, or anywhere with outdoor seating that I can possibly just go and rest?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Ugh. Six.
Nothing that you can see that you could surveil the
All right.
location you're at now. You can hear and you can see light off around an alleyway, and that might be a decent place to go, but not right here.
I'm going to just knock back on the door and just say, sorry, is there somewhere I can maybe perhaps sit while I wait? I either inside or nearby. It's not common to leave a komsha standing this way.
You don't hear anything from within,
How
and there's no
rude.
response.
Well, they're certainly not interested in my services, I guess. I wish I could take my card back. Very rude. I am going to make my way back to Seraphina.
Seraphina,
And-
you're standing there. Gus has been gone for a little bit now.
I'm going to speak to her and Gus because I wouldn't know that he had left. And I'll say, okay, I don't know where you still where you last were, Gus?
Yeah, I'm right. Oh, Gus. Gus? Oh, Gus! Not here. I don't think he's here. And I start going like this. Like,
Can we just maybe be a little less conspicuous about that, just in case anyone's watching us?
right.
So-
He said there 3 guys came out of the top, and I like point to where they came out of.
Again,
Like 3 guys came out of that.
Just use your eyes to show where. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Perfect. No. That was very well done.
Okay.
Just in case
he
anyone's watching again.
Right. I swear I've done this before.
I believe you. I just because we're right in front of the place we're trying to get into it. There may be people watching, so just something to keep in mind.
And I like put my hands like very in like a pocket of my pants and like keep them there, and just like stand still and like a weird whisper, just like, Gus went to go look for 3 men. I told him to come back here. I don't know if he has returned.
I'm sure he would probably tell us. All right. Well, I guess that makes sense as to why they left me literally.
Can I put my hands in my pocket? I'm holding a rat. I hold the rat tighter.
Is he okay? His eyes are bulging a little.
Well, I'm just holding the cage. I took the cage with me.
Sorry. You're like just squeezing this rat. Having like
the cage.
a homeward bound moment, like, look, I can't breathe. I guess. Do you know of anywhere nearby that maybe we could just wait? It seems it's a chillier day and it looks like it's going to rain at any minute. So I would rather not get caught outside.
I mean, yeah, I definitely know of some places, but I told Gus to come back here. How will he know to go somewhere else?
Maybe we could somehow leave him a message or a note.
First, Rurik, do I actually know of any places nearby? I would assume I'm fairly familiar with the area just from like walking around.
Just outside of your area, because this is north of the strip and north of, the Whispering Bazaar is south of the strip. So this is actually not exactly a familiar area. You're kind of on the borderlands between the strip and those more expensive houses, including this one, that are just up there. But go ahead and roll a perception check to see if you can spot a place to hang out.
So are we technically in the Crystal Cliffs? Is that where we are? Where are we?
You are in the... so if you look at where the strip is, and then between the strip and the Hollow Council, you're in the area right around that zone.
Okay. Oh, I fell. Oh, and that's a worse roll.
I mean, anywhere that, maybe this place is still within eyesight, and that way if he pops up seemingly out of thin air, as it were, then we can, run out and flag him down.
I'm doing perception. No, I'm doing history? What am I doing? Perception. So that's a whole 9.
Okay. It takes the two of you quite a bit to find a cozy spot that's still within a decent range of this building. You end up actually having to go down a little bit of an alley that has an oblique angle on the space where this building is, but it still works out. You still are able to get to a good spot, and you're able to kind of figure things out. Cozy, outdoor, a little bit of a magical heat lamp over the top, self-cleaning plates. It's a nicer area of town, but not that nice that they actually hand wash these dishes, There's a difference between cheap, shoddy cutlery and high-end cutlery, and this is the mid-range, but nicer mid-range. Gus, you have been tailing these 3 individuals. They first, you see them slipping along the roof lines for a while, and you have a choice. You could try to blend in with the shadows below, or you could make your way up to the rooftops as well. Which would you choose to do?
I'll probably stay below, just because I'm invisible and
Okay, can you go ahead and roll a stealth check with advantage because you are invisible?
That is a 12.
12. Awesome. With a 12, you're able to make out some of the locations that they're hopping from to and from, and you get the sense that they're kind of making their way around the square to a location where they can surveil those who are outside of the building itself. As you make your way over there, go ahead and roll a perception check.
I rolled a 9.
Roll a 9. Continuing to follow them around, it's a little confusing. They're still circling, and they make their way around, and then you see them kind of like settle in for a moment, and then they start coming back your way. They still seem to have their eyes on someone, and they're tracking them, but they're coming back towards you. What do you do?
Okay, is it possible for me to get up to where they are?
To climb up to the rooftop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll some sort of dexterity-based method of getting up there, or strength-based if you're just muscling your way up.
I'm going to say acrobatics because of my small stature. I probably have to like jump and like grab a lot of things and like.
Oh, yeah. You're an agile climber. You've scaled walls and fences and other things while chasing down suspects in the past. So, yeah, go ahead and use an acrobatics check.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Awesome. You're able to slip up there really quickly. And this gives you an even better view of what they're looking at and what they're trying to check out. You have a better sense of what they don't seem to see you. But go ahead and roll another perception check, or actually, I think this time, insight check.
Ooh, another dirty 20. All right. Keeping that dice out.
Oh, good.
Because now they've triangulated for you by their gaze and how they've moved, and you've been able to slip around behind them or alongside them at some points. You realize that where they're looking, and they're looking over at this outdoor space for this cafe, and you recognize and see Ulua and Seraphina sitting at that spot.
Okay. I'm going to point at Ulua, my invisible finger. Oh, shit.
120 feet. You're within range.
Does that count as casting a spell?
Yes.
It's a cantrip, so I don't know. Shit. That means I technically would have become uninvisible.
Yeah,
before,
but you are stealthing very well.
Okay, so I guess I'm just hiding now. I'm not invisible anymore because I don't have spells to re-invisible myself. All right. So I will cast a point of finger at Ulua and just be like, they're watching you from the top of the whatever building we're on.
Yeah. So Ulua, you hear this whisper in your head.
And I need to be able to see him to whisper back?
No.
No? Okay. Noted. They seem to have left me out in the cold. Shall we reconvene at Sticky Beaks? Or do you want to keep following them?
Sticky Beaks? No. We're supposed to meet at her brother's office, right?
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
Okay. Point my finger again, be like, where's her brother's office?
Seraphina, darling, where's your brother's office?
Oh. Yeah. It's in the place called Cobblestone Commons. I then proceed to explain the cross streets.
And I proceed to relay the cross streets.
Take a left at the Blue House. And
Yes.
You know, there's a Blue House and across from a deli. Yeah. It's right next to the cobbler. But if you go to the tailor, you've gone too far.
As that is being shared with you, Gus, you overhear something because you're close enough to them now to overhear their conversation. You overhear, follow them, kill them.
I'm going to point at Ulua and be like, oh, they're going to try to kill you.
Interesting. Well, a lady is always prepared. And I say, you stay on them. Let's give them the long way tour, shall we? See if we can't trip them up, as it were. Stay in touch.
So, as Ulua and Seraphina go around a corner, two of the figures up on the rooftop continue to follow them, and one starts to slip down a different direction down the rooftops towards a back alley. Gus, do you follow the lone individual or the two that are following Ulua and Seraphina?
Damn it. I feel like I don't know them well enough to know if they can like handle themselves yet. So I'm just gonna like, in case they need help, I'm gonna go with follow the two, I guess.
Okay. As you head down, following them, the other individual slips off into the alleyways. As you continue following, you take note of their figures a little bit more, especially as you continue this search, and one appears to be feminine and the other appears to be masculine in their presentation. Both are intent, and you can see them as Ulua and Seraphina turn into a darker alleyway, taking the long way, so to speak. You see them both pull out small crossbows.
I will point at her again and be like, they have crossbows. Be careful.
Where are they?
I will tell her again, like, what our location is.
Okay, just to help things out here, I am going to share something, so give me a hot second.
As you're doing that, I'm just going to take Seraphina's arm in mine and kind of do like a scoop and like a hand over her arm, and just lean in as if I'm putting my head on her shoulder and say, do you have any sort of protection for yourself, or it seems we're about to get in a bit of a scuffle?
I am not great in fights, but I have things to protect myself.
Okay. Well, when I let's see, when I stop and turn to face you, run, find a hiding place. All right. I'll do my best to distract them both.
No. I don't need to like hide. I can fight. I'm just, I mean, I can protect you. You don't need to protect me. I can definitely protect you.
Well, we just, they have crossbows. So.
Oh, I have a
ready?
crossbow.
Okay. Well, don't take it out now. Just.
Right.
Okay. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
So
all
the
right,
two
and
of you have turned into
yeah.
this shadow area right here.
Okay.
Gus, you're standing up on this side of the pinnacle here of this parapet, and just to the other side of it is the two crossbow wielders. So the two snackers walked from this cafe down this way and then down this alleyway. So you see the pathway that they've taken, and you've been kind of like tailing these two as they come up over here, and you're just right behind them, and they're both stationed on either side here, taking aim at the two and waiting until they come into sight. And as soon as they come into sight, they've aimed and they pull the trigger. They think that they are getting a sneak attack, but you are aware of what is going on with the communication that you have with Gus and everything else like that. So what I would like to do as they shoot is I would like the two of you to roll 2 prepared dexterity saving throws.
Okay. One
And
for each of us, or 2 each?
One for each of you, sorry.
Okay.
And
what each?
Then everybody will roll initiative.
Dex save. Okay. 16 for me.
Okay.
18.
Okay. Gus, you watch as the two take aim
Nope.
and fire. And you see the quarrels were targeted correctly, but Seraphina and Ulea just seem to, through your support and guidance as well, know how to move in such a way as to dodge both quarrels before they even hit, and you just hear the skittering of the crossbow bolts hitting the cobbles below. And in that moment, they both cuss quietly to each other and seek to rearm their crossbows. I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Woo!
Oh, no.
18.
18. Awesome.
14.
You
1.
said 14?
Oh, I
Oh,
did.
no. Your crossbow gets stuck on all your jingly janglies.
I go and pick up the crossbows for myself, and I put them in my pocket. I'm like, oh, I have a crossbow. I can use these.
Yeah, picking up the damaged corals is what distracts you for this. So, Jason, you're first.
Yay. I would like to point my finger like this at the closest, or whichever one of them is closest to the edge. And I
That would be
like
the feminine figure.
And I would like to say, boo. And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast her.
Nice.
Jesus.
Go ahead and roll that attack.
A heck of a wake-up call.
Good morning.
Maybe. It's an 11.
That includes your hit DC and everything. That
Yeah.
total. An 11 misses. And what does your Eldritch Blast look like?
Oh, things I've not thought about. I think it looks. Let's see. Given my patron, I'm going to say it looks like a rainbow.
Okay. So this rainbow fires from your finger gun, and it misses. And to anyone in the world knowing that it was just about to rain, it was getting gloomy and dark, it looks like a rainbow has just shown up, and then it quickly fades away. A momentary rainbow. Anything for your bonus action? Wait.
Any chance I have advantage as a surprise attack since they didn't know I was here?
You know what? Yeah, you're sneaky.
Let's try again.
Go with advantage. You don't get the rogue stuff, do you?
Same thing. Never mind.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to hex the closest one to me.
Oh.
Place a click on a creature that you can see within range. Choose one ability when you cast a spell. The target has disadvantage on ability checks made with the chosen ability. So does the crossbow count as an ability or no?
What powers it does, but this would be for ability checks. Okay. So that would be, things like
acrobatics,
intimidation, wisdom, religion, sleight of hand.
I
athletics.
Will disable a stealth or give them disadvantage on stealth.
So for stealth, that would be you're going to disadvantage their dexterity.
Okay.
So any dexterity checks they make will now be with disadvantage for dexterity.
Okay.
Awesome. And is that the end of your turn, or you?
Yep, that's all I got.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to move back as far as I can away from them because I probably am too squishy to stand here and fight them.
Yeah, you can only really move at half speed on these rooftops just because of how precarious they are. So you're able to get to kind of the point of being able to jump over to the next building. Okay. That takes us to Larissa. Ulua.
Okay.
You've just been shot at. You saw a rainbow fly over the top of the roof line.
I am also going to look at the feminine creature that's closest to the edge of the roof. I'm going to use my bonus action and cast Unsettling Words, which means I need to roll. Bardic Inspiration die. And they must subtract 3 from the next saving throw that they make.
Okay.
And then I am going to cast wait, no. Yeah. No. Yes, I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery, right?
Okay.
Because if I cast a spell as a cantrip, and then I can cast a bonus action spell.
Was the other one a bonus action spell?
Yes.
Yes, and then yes, you can.
Basically, it's like the negative version of Bardic Inspiration, which is a bonus action spell.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery and say, or I'm going to sing rather. Let's see. This is not prepared because I was going to cast a different spell and then I remembered it had to be a cantrip. Let's see. Your aim is as lovely as your face. And that will be maybe some sort of psychic damage. 2 points of psychic damage.
You see them kind of like they have to grip their head as they, and Gus, you can't see them anymore because you're down the peak of the roof, so you can't see that figure. But they definitely have the huge headache that comes with being mocked by a talented bard.
Yeah, huge headache, 2 points. And then for my movement, remind me which roof they're on.
They're on the purple parapet that's up higher.
And we are in the shadowed area, right?
Yeah.
I would like to just duck into like a door frame somewhere that is out of line of sight for the crossbows.
Yeah, there's 2 barrels here. There's a bench. You could run closer to them and get hidden behind the roof line of this building here, or
I'll do the roof or the corner there, the green.
Yeah. So you dart over into that corner. You will have full cover because you can make it all the way over there. Awesome. Basically, they can't shoot you. Seeing
as a reaction, I'm going to say, "Come out and play."
Seeing that their compatriot is reeling from whatever has just hit them between the hex and the psychic damage, that feminine individual is reeling a little bit. The other person shouts at them, "Reload!" as they take aim again, but this time they're taking aim at Seraphina because she's the only one visible to them. And they are going to... Seraphina does... That sucks. Does a 10 hit.
No.
Awesome. So you see another bolt skitter across the cobbles, and seeing their partner engage in this way, the other person who's kind of been wobbly a little bit races up the roof line to try to find who shot the rainbow. Just trying to figure out where that came from.
Shoot the rainbow, taste the rainbow.
And they kind of scan around and look.
Should my verbal component be, "You've stolen my Lucky Charms," and I just
They do not see Gus in the shadows and the darkness. So Gus, while you're not technically stealthed, they rolled a terrible perception check standing at the peak of this roof line, and they turn back away, assuming that it was just a fluke of something, and they shoot back towards you again, Seraphina. This is much better. Does a 20 hit?
Yes.
Okay. You are going to take 5 points of piercing damage.
5. Apply.
So the action has been pretty quick and intense. Seraphina, you've been scrambling around picking up these 2 crossbow bolts, and then you get hit by this crossbow bolt, and and you look up and it's your turn. You have a crossbow quarrel sticking out of your body and 2 in your hands and your own crossbow. What are you going to do?
I want to do. It doesn't take an action to pull out my crossbow and stuff.
No, I assume from the conversation that you were surreptitiously getting it ready.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So I'm going to drop the 2 cross bolts that I just grabbed and fire at the closest one. Whether that be the more
so
masculine
the male figure
or feminine.
is closer.
Perfect.
Okay, go ahead and roll the attack.
All right, plus 5. Okay, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, why didn't I just know that? 19. To hit.
That hits. Roll the damage, please.
Okay. I gotta remember which one's an 8. Are you an 8? I think you're 8. Yeah! Plus 3. Nice. 6, 7, 9.
You hit them with this crossbow bolt. They bend over. How do you want this to end for them?
They're on the pointy house. They're not near us.
They're on this purple roof right here.
Just to maybe collapse over, nothing too crazy, but then I want to yell over to Ulua and be like, I got one! Stay where you are, I will protect you!
They hit and tumble, and then because of the pitch of the roof, they slide off the edge of the roof and onto the roof of the other building across, and you hear a thunk, and then nothing. Gus, it is your turn. What are you doing?
So the one that's left is the one that I hexed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They are hexed. They are psychically damaged.
So now I'm going to Eldritch Blast them again.
Okay, roll the attack.
Am I still sneaky? Do I still get advantage?
Yeah, they didn't spot you, so you still have...
For fuck's sake, are you kidding me? I missed again. With advantage twice I missed. That's ridiculous.
Can you roll an intimidation check?
Oh, wait, that is not a D2. Oh, yeah, it is. 15.
All right. With that brightly colored rainbow, you see them sway uncertainly on their feet a little bit and regain their balance, but it was tenuous at best. They are on the peak of this rooftop. You have your bonus action and your movement. What are you going to do?
I will move back, hopefully into cover, so they still don't see me, I guess.
Okay, yeah, you can move up along or just move to the building next door to you and just be below the eave of the building that they're on so they can't see you.
Yeah, I'm going to hide underneath the parapet or whatever that they're on.
Okay. Yeah. So you're tucked away a bit, harder to see. They still know vaguely where you are because of the rainbows, but you are currently tucked away. And then Ulua, you are currently tucked around the corner. You just heard that Seraphina got one, whatever that means, and you heard a thud. You can't see the enemies right now from where you are, but
I would love to peek back around the corner and do my best to try to spot the other one. And then I would like to cast Dissonant Whispers at the first level.
okay. Could I first have you roll a perception check to see if you're able to figure out where they are? It is not a very high DC, but you did not have eyes on them in the interim.
Yep, that's fair. That's cocked. Ooh, look at that. Double digits. All right. 15.
Yes, you step back and you're able to see them. You have to move yourself just towards where the cobbles start getting rough. But once you get there, you see them very clearly.
Okay.
Go ahead
and
and
I'm
roll
going to cast Dissonant Whispers. It's a wisdom saving throw, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. 13.
They got a 10 total.
Woo! Okay. 1, 2, 3. They take 9 points of psychic damage.
They're clutching their head. Tell me, what does this look like as their brief time in Overton comes to an end?
Essentially, like you said, they're clutching their head, and then they just kind of do one of those, like their eyes roll back, and they just kind of crumple. Maybe a little trickle of blood comes out of their nose and their eardrums as they start to fall.
They crumple, and can you just roll a d6?
1.
They crumple and fall, falling to the southern end of the pinnacle, landing with a thump on the same rooftop, but just below, not too far from Gus, splayed out. And because of the fact that they fell in that direction, they're stuck up there. They didn't slide any further. And with that, combat, our first combat, is over.
Ba 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 ba.
I'm going to go over to
Yay.
the one that fell by me and like look through their pockets or whatever just to see if they have anything like that identifies them or who they are, or
Roll an investigation check.
investigation. You're fired dice. Let's see. I guess not. 13. Not so bad.
Could have been worse.
With a 13, you find a couple of interesting items in their pockets. They are, they must be working for a casino because they have a lot of chips but it's not like they just have the chips that they would have. They have those that others would have. They have dice, and you, as you kind of heft them, you definitely think that they're probably weighted dice, like very obviously weighted. These are not sneaky. This is definitely a casino that's illicitly doing things. And they also have a few coins in their pockets. So you pick up about 12 gold coins.
Woo! Looting!
I'm rich.
And they also have a little sketch of the Skylark Cafe or the Skylark Theater.
Okay. I'm gonna drag them like in somewhere, like try to just sort of hide the body so that they're just missing for an unforeseeable amount of time. Like being on a
where
rooftop
they
there.
are right now, given how protected
at least
this
they can't be seen from the ground, at least. So
yeah, you're in a good spot right where they are at.
Okay.
That was a very lucky roll that Larissa made to get that one.
And then, like, being a former homicide detective, I guess I will like try to like obfuscate any investigation that eventually happens, like clean up after myself, like maybe misdirect if I can.
Yeah, go ahead and just roll. This is kind of like a survival check, but also kind of like a sleight of hand check to try to like just mess things up. So, but it's more of a wisdom thing. So let's go with a survival check.
8. God, you're done. You're fired, dice. I pulled out all new dice sets to roll, and none of them are treating me very well.
All right.
Because you haven't rolled them yet. I don't actually believe in any of that.
You gotta feed them, give them pieces. The care and feeding of dice. You're all here. Are you getting together, Gus?
Yeah, I will work my way down. Actually, I'll probably go check the other body too, as long as I'm up on the roofs already.
Yeah, as you kind of clamber up and over, Ulua and Seraphina, you see another shadow up on the rooftops briefly. And then it disappears from sight.
Okay.
Gus, can I have you roll a... I think this is going to be going back to the same thing. It's a bit of a, like you're looking for the trail of blood and such of the person who fell, although there wasn't blood at the first hit, but you're just trying to track down where their body did. So I think we can call this another wisdom check. You choose what you think it would be for you.
I guess.
Yeah.
Does survival count for knowing where a dead body falls?
Yeah, sure. I'm really just looking for like your perceptive skills as applied to knowing how you're trying to figure out how they've pachinkoed down the.
Okay, I would say 16 on survival.
Okay. You make your way down and you find them crumpled in the alley. They've actually bounced a bit and they're crumpled up in the alley. Just another body lying there. There's nobody currently looking down here. They fell quite a ways, so they're a bit more mangled than they were when they were just hit with the crossbow bolt. But you can see the broken crossbow bolt in their chest.
I am going to go through their pockets again, and I will also take the crossbow bolt with me.
Similar to the other one, they have a lot of gambling paraphernalia on them, and they also have some just things on their person of various sorts. Another 10 gold. There's a note, and it looks like it's written in a language. I don't know. Do you speak Undercommon?
I do.
Oh, so you start reading through it. It's like an encoded Undercommon. And what you pick up from it is stop the revolution, take out Celeste.
Oh.
Protect the council.
Revolution. Okay, and then I will go back over to them.
Do you share any of your findings with them?
I will share all of my findings with them.
Ulua, when you read through that particular Undercommon note, do you speak Undercommon?
I do not.
Well, when you get Gus's interpretation of what it says, it rings a bell. And you know there's a certain council member who is famed for paying people off to keep secrets. It's one of those contracts that's been offered your way before, but due to your choices in life, you've never partaken of that particular bribe.
We should probably regroup. We've obtained a lot of information, and it may be best to
we
take a
can go
look at
meet
other
Squeaky
things.
Beak. No,
You just
no,
say squeaky
that's-
beak?
I wasn't
I
sure
was
if
like-
that was in character or not.
I couldn't tell either. I was like,
Yes.
squeaky beaks. Is it gonna be
Yes.
squeaky beard next?
Totally in character.
That was so in character.
He did,
I was so confident too.
he did used to be
Squeaky
my
Beak.
informant, so I guess he does have a squeaky beak. I don't know.
Oh, so good.
I can send him a note, have him meet us. I can walk us to my office,
Yeah,
my brother's office.
We should get off the streets before the watch finds one of these bodies.
Okay.
There you go. I'm going to hand her back her crossbow bolt that was in his chest.
Oh, thank you.
Best
Wipe
to
it
not
off.
Leave that in the body.
Noted.
So
Okay.
you all making your way to the cobblestone
I would have quickly
commons.
Would have quickly wrote a note, folded it into a bird, chucked it. Oh, whispered who it goes to, chuck it.
Okay. What does the note say?
It says lots of information. I want to tell you all about it. We'll meet you at the office, comma, my brother's office, the one that I'm using right now.
And
You know where it is.
some other Kenku named Squeaky Beak gets his weird note from nowhere.
So yeah, you all make your way over to the office. It takes quite a while because it is crossing a lot of the city. You're all familiar with the various public transit options. There's quick flights that are fairly expensive. There's the cart bolts down below, just sublevel of Overton, and there are a variety of slower Magitech carts that can make their way along the street, or just simply walking. How do you choose to make this journey?
How much
Is
are
there
the...
one in... Go ahead.
Oh, how much are the flights? Like the quick flights?
Flights generally go for 2 to 3 gold, and it can go up and down depending on availability and rush.
Okay. So this is like a cab?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would there be a particular way, like me and my brother would have traveled?
I think
Like, that
that's
would've
really
been
up to you and your brother and the costs you would have put in. I think early on in his career, he definitely would have walked a ton, but also taken the cartbold services as they're more affordable. But it does mean going into the Enders. It gets stinky down there, hot.
I'll suggest that to the group, just because that would be what I was used to.
I'm going to be like,
we could take the cobalt
I'll pay for
things.
quick flight courtesy of our most recent friends back there.
Oh, sweet.
I just hold out like a handful of gold coins.
Summoning a flying vehicle is fairly ubiquitous. Everybody does it their own special way. Quick whistle, a hand raise, whatever it is.
Blast.
They have the magic sensory equipment to find a fare, and it's happens to be a night of very little traffic right now.
I actually just used an app.
As far as you know, the Grand Brand Gala must be in full swing because there's a lot of free flying vehicles available, usually the purview of those with wealth, but they're all at one location having a great old time as far as you know, and you are quickly able to summon one and make your way to the Cobblestone Commons. It is maybe not the most robust of machineries, but it is quick, it is efficient, and the skyways are often the most direct ways. Upon arrival, it lands in an open square area in the Cobblestone Commons. A little loud, a little ostentatious. The Omnithumpter just makes a ton of noise as it gets over there, but you eventually arrive, and Seraphina, you're able to take the other two to your brother's office.
How much does that cost? Just so I can remember what total.
That one cost you 3 gold without tip.
Okay, I would do 5 gold.
Big spender.
Not my money. I just took it off a dead body.
Yeah, you are able to make that happen. Seraphina, can you describe the entryway to this office?
Yeah. So, you walk in and it's not a huge entry way, but still spacious enough that no one feels cramped by any means. There's like a receptionist desk that's currently empty. Some pictures on the wall of like news articles of things that he had solved. And then there's like a door off to the right, and if you go inside the door, that's where the mess is, just books upon files upon
and somewhere in this
dust.
space there's a painting.
There is. So when you walk into the actual office, behind the desk, the only clean, well-kept thing in the space is a huge wall-sized portrait of young Gus from a poster that was released in his prime. And I walk in, totally forgetting about that, and I sit right in the desk, just like, all right, this is my brother's office. We're here. Welcome. What are you looking at? I like turn around. I go, oh yeah, I told you he liked you. It's you, right?
Yeah, yes, that's me.
He likes you. Big fan.
I see that.
Where is your brother?
Ah, very good question. Don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Is he missing or?
Yeah.
Run away?
Yeah. No, I hope he didn't run away. He went out on a case. And has not come back. There's no info. So I'm running the agency now. Yay. And looking for him when I can, but it's not going great. Yeah, about, not too long. 12, 13 months.
Actually,
Yeah, at first it was fine because, he would go away for a while. So for I don't know, 4 or 5 months, none of us really thought much of it. Because, he would go away for things. Yeah, and then at 7 months, we started questioning. By month 8th, I'm not the best detective. I'm really good at, people telling me what to do in that sense of, investigationing. He would take me with him on a lot of the cases, because I'm really good at, I create things. I pull out my little box that I was working on. I'm like this. Like I'm building this. I'm almost done with this. It's gonna do things. There's a spring that doesn't work right now. But yeah, so just looking for him. Not the best. Where was I? Oh, right. Not the best investigator. So I'm losing out on a lot of his cases.
I think you don't give
So.
yourself enough credit.
I would agree. You did
Neither
very
of us
well
thought
today.
to talk to the rat.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, I talked to a lot of the rats in the basement that I do stuff in. I can get bored down there sometimes.
Do they... This is going to sound uninformed because it is. Is there a social system? Is there...
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I only know about it within the basement. I don't know much about, the outside of the basement hierarchy. I also only have, very limited time that I can talk to them until, I have to, I basically have to go to sleep, and I can talk to them again. So. But then by then, the kids come down and I hang out with them, so. It's either kids or rats.
The kids?
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
No, not my kids. My brother struck a deal with the guy who owns the shop. I use his basement. He has 1,000 kids. No, it's I don't know, 5 kids, I think. They come down a lot and bug me.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand now. I thought maybe we were talking about the rat's children. I just
I bet they have kids. I just assume they're a new
I'm
rat
sure they
who
do.
just snuck in.
They're usually quite
They procreate a lot.
Yes. They have a high
Yeah.
propensity for procreation. Anyways, well, now that we're here.
Oh, are you thirsty? While we wait, I can make a drink.
Well, do either of you have a way to get in touch with Sticky Beak?
Oh, I already did it. I sent a letter when we were walking.
Oh,
I got paper and I pull out one of the 2 that I've left, and I'm like, yeah.
I see. Yes, you're well prepared. Perfect.
He gave it to me. He told me to send it to him. Oh, the letter that you got, it probably came as a bird. Yeah, that's this.
Yeah. Yes, at one leg of its journey. Yes, certainly. So, yes, as long as we're waiting, I would love a refreshment. Perhaps.
Perfect. I know what you will like. I know. Gus, big man. I point up to the picture. What do you want?
Sure. Whatever you have is fine.
Got it. And I was like, don't worry, I got a great selection. I know exactly what to make you. And I go to a closet and open up the closet.
Insight check. Is she lying or is it bravado? Or is she truly believe that? Oh, and that's a nat 1. Never mind.
Oh, you totally believe everything she says. You are captivated. As she goes to the big closet and
I open it up and there's one bottle of brown liquid with cups.
Eek.
Pour it out. Give it to him. It's higher end, liquor, but it's still just the one.
it's her brother's one celebratory drink when he closes the case, and she never opened it.
It's his desk bottle.
Yeah.
Exactly. Gus, As she moves over in that direction, you make out another object on the wall. Something more recent. Somebody has kept up with your work. There's an atrocious picture of maybe a tree or a bush. You don't remember what you were painting that day, but you know you painted that.
So your brother's the one.
The one what?
The one.
I mean, he's the one brother. I only have one brother.
The one person who ever bought one of my paintings.
He bought one of your paintings? Come back and I look. Oh, that thing! Yeah, it's a seal, right? Seal?
Yes, that's it. Well done. That's exactly what it is. I just gotta sit down with my little drink.
He told me it was a tree. I think it's a seal.
It's a tree seal, very rare.
Oh, okay. Nice. You know, if you want to paint some more, I'll bet he'd buy it. I mean, I gotta find him first, but then he'd buy it.
I'm not what you would call a professional artist. It's more of a hobby.
But you got money for it. Doesn't that make you professional? He'd give you more money for it, too.
Actually, didn't get money for it. I gave it to someone who sold it to your brother. It was a gift.
Ugh. Awkward.
Sure. Yeah. That's okay. Ernesto, the bartender, sold it to her brother.
Ernesto.
I'm going to say that Gus probably never tries to sell his paintings because he's fully aware they're not good. Like, he just enjoys doing it. Like, it's a hobby of joy for him.
Well, if you ever decide to pursue a commission on your paintings, my friend Celia, her tavern is essentially a gallery, and she only takes a small commission on any sale. Everything in the tavern is artwork of some form, whether it be carpentry or the glassware, or it's all local artisans, and so I'm sure she would be happy to feature some of your work. There's also a collective of artists who meet there on occasion to share their work and speak about their work, and to talk about various artists and techniques. You might enjoy it, but
maybe
I certainly wouldn't pressure anyone, but I'm happy to connect you should you feel inclined.
I appreciate that. I will let you know if I decide to do that. He's very uncomfortable. This is like his private-ish hobby that he just like paints in the woods by himself.
I take a sip of the liquid and I go, it's a little harsh.
Mine's already gone.
For my tastes, but quite warming. So thank you. It's definitely working to keep away the chill of the day.
I will pass your notes on to my brother when he comes back.
Oops. Sorry.
He's back. He's
arrived. Your office chimes ring. I was going to try to knock, but you hear a loud doorbell as you are charmed by the door.
That's canon now. That's the doorbell.
Oh, he's here. He's here. I'm going to run in.
You open the door and there's a very tall figure. Feminine in appearance. Is this the offices of the... Well, I think I'm looking for you.
Seraphina?
Yes, indeed. That is who I'm looking for. I have a problem that could use your intervention.
Oh, come in from the cold.
Oh, thank you
Have
very
a-
much. They begin
You
taking
can have
off their cloak and their overcoat, and then the scarf, and then a hat. They reveal a very beautiful, but older, aristocratic-looking woman, a little worn with care, crow's feet, slight point to her ears. So, you'd be Seraphina.
Yep, that's me.
And you've recently picked up some associate.
I have.
Well, if my information is true, you have. I'm surprised to see you, but it's splendid. I'm glad you're well.
Associate. I mean, I used to work with my brother.
Can I over here?
I don't think you can hear from the back to the front in this type of space with her volume. You just know that she went over to invite somebody at this point. So I think this is a little bit of a... If you want to, you can roll a perception check. Like if you're like ear to the door.
I would have actually come out of the space that we were in and
I would have left the door open.
Okay.
Yeah, just
because I would have been thinking it was sticky beard. Oh my god, beak.
Oh, I see that you're both here. That's absolutely all that I needed to know. And as she says, all I needed to know.
I'm going to cast
Mist
hold person.
rises up. What?
I'm going to cast hold person.
How are you doing this?
As the mist starts to rise up, I'm going to go, you're not going anywhere. And I do one of these.
Okay.
Succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Wisdom save of 13.
Wisdom save of 13.
Ugh.
The mist continues to rise, even as your taunting finger is in front of them.
Oh no.
And as it reaches the top of their head, they say, better luck next time. And the mist starts swirling away. And in her place is a large, fanged monstrosity. I need you all to roll initiative.
I let in a monster!
That's 5.
17.
I rolled poorly. Well, these new dice also suck. Going away.
Okay. So, Jason, you got a 5?
Yorp.
Larissa,
Yes.
Jess?
17.
Jess got a 17. And Larissa.
For those listening at home.
1. Oh. Uri.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I love it.
So, okay, that's awesome. And let me just really quick roll this one. Oh, even better. Okay. Yeah.
Did the monster roll in that 20?
No. Not much different from that, but okay, so this okay, this is it's good. This is fine. It's all fine. In your surprise,
Quelle surprise!
You and I think this like contributes to Ulua's momentary befuddlement, maybe. That's the way to describe this. A large amount of dust and rust, red dust, rises up out of this creature, and you can see that it's mostly composed of ferrous metals, and it's got this body covered in just thick, lumpy armor and a tail that ends in a bony protrusion with two little feathery looking antennae sprouting from an insectile head. It doesn't belong up here. You've heard about these down in the Underton area, making raids and taking materials from smithies and other places. And it sniffs. And it is going to reach out and try to attack Ulua, who has just come through. So a 20 is its first attack.
Yeah, that hits.
Jesus.
It zips up with its tail, pokes into you briefly and pulls back out. You're going to take 5 points of piercing damage. And it...
Okay.
You see its antenna shake at the same time. And next to you, Seraphina, one of your brother's discarded older metal utensils corrodes in front of your eyes as the antenna kind of points in that direction. And you can see the rust flow towards its maw. Jess, that's your turn.
All right. I am going to run up and hit it with my sickle.
Okay.
So that's going to be actions. And okay, so +4. Ooh, okay. 19 to hit.
That hits. Roll the damage.
And +2. Nice. 4, 5, 6.
Okay, yeah, great. 6 points of damage. You see part of its armor gets a little dented from your hit, and I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. Dexterity saving throw. Okay. Nine.
You swing, you hit, and you have caused damage. You can see that the rust monster has a bit of a dent, but as you pull back your sickle, you can see that the blade of your sickle is rusted and beginning to dissolve. And it has taken a -1 1 to its damage capabilities.
Ugh, gosh.
Bonus actions or anything else like that?
Bonus action. Oh, I think I actually have bonus actions. I guess I don't. Can't I use a... No, because... Wait. A cantrip... Oh, no. A cantrip is only a bonus action if it says bonus action.
Yeah.
So no, I don't. That's all I do.
Awesome. Jason.
Hello.
What does Gus do back in the back room, but hearing the monstrous noises happening and seeing the clouds of rust floating through the air as a member of the deeper darks beneath Overton and Underton? You've probably heard about, if not encountered, these things.
Given that Gus grew up in the Underdark, maybe he would know what that sound is.
Yes.
Okay.
Very likely.
So I'm going to...
Do you want to roll a history check to get more information, or are you good?
Sure. Do it. That is 21.
Yeah, you know actually quite a bit, and you know that your people would rather fight a squad of other monsters than confront a single one of these creatures, which are called rust monsters. They are normally left to their own devices, fairly low-key and docile. They just destroy metals, and they gobble up things that they eat. But upset or noticing creatures that have such metals as they like, they become very aggressive, especially to those with steel weapons and armor. They can smell that food at a distance and just go for it, corrode and consume every object of that sort. They don't care if the rust is from a spike or a sword. They're just after metal.
Okay. I'm going to run to the open door, and then I'm going to cast Chill Touch on the rust monster.
Okay.
Does my attack rolls? Oh my God. Does a 5? No, does a 10 hit?
No, a 10 does not hit.
All right. Everybody have a nice day. I'm done.
Your chill touch goes out and it just disperses a bit. The rust has interfered with your spell in some way and caused it to not fizzle, but just not be able to hit the rust monster in this moment.
I think that's pretty much all I can do. Yeah.
You watch
spell slots, so yeah.
Seraphina as the small chair near you, that was one of the few metal chairs in this space, begins to dissolve a bit as it goes to Ulua's turn.
As a free action, I'm going to say, boy, are you ugly. And I'm going to reach out and just wiggle my fingers again and cast Dissonant Whispers at the first level. It's a wisdom save of 13.
Does this creature even have wisdom? Oh, it does. It has a decent one. It got a 13. Meets it, beats it. Is that half damage?
Save. Yeah. And doesn't have to move. Okay, once again. 4. I rolled an 8 total, so 4 points of psychic damage.
Thank you. There's a bit of a shiver across its scales as it takes that 4 points of damage. And you can see that its relatively undisturbed still. It's still intent on gathering the metals, but you can see that there has been that one gash in its armor, and now that, like, whatever that shiver meant for the life of this creature.
And then I'm going to use my last bardic inspiration to cast on Gus and be like, good luck to you. And
Stop
blow him a kiss.
missing everything.
The hit that you did to its armor, Seraphina, is what stood out to it most so far. So its attention has centered to you. Also, it got a delicious taste of your scythe, and it reaches up again towards you. Its two antennae furling, and it is going to attack you. And it's also going to add another negative to your scythe. That just happens automatically if you can't make this dex saving throw. So why don't you go ahead and roll a dex saving throw? I threw the dice back into their bin. How did I do that? It's like the best.
+3, right? 22.
You keep your weapon out of its reach just in time, and it goes in for the bite. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Hey!
Distracted by your quick shifting of your scythe out of the way, it misses its lunge at you, and you both protect your weapon and manage to not be hit in this moment. That takes us to Jason. Gus? You're muted, maybe, or something? I don't know.
No.
Oh, okay. You're not talking.
Okay, I'm
Was
going
yawning.
to try another Eldritch Blast, and we'll see if I can hit anything
Okay.
that's 8 feet away from me.
Bardic inspiration.
Probably gonna need it. Does a 12 hit? With the inspiration, I got all the way to 12.
It does not hit. Another rainbow blasts out, and now that you all know the source of the rainbows, but you see that it just ricochets around and creates a bit of light and color, but fades out.
That's embarrassing. I'm so out of practice.
I love that this is like Gus's coming out of retirement space and just like, oh.
I feel like he probably has not used his fighting magic at all in like 10 years or something. Maybe it makes a little sense, like RP-wise, why he keeps missing everything.
Okay, so
somewhere his patron's like, "Oh, you're still alive?"
It's like, oh, I gotta start paying attention to that creature. Is that it?
Yeah, I don't have much for bonus actions other than that. So, yep.
Okay, that takes us to Larissa.
I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers again.
Okay.
DC 13 save. It
only made an 11.
Hey, all right. So that means it takes 7 points of psychic damage, and where's it? Must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as its speed allows away from me. It doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground.
It skitters backwards and hits the door, but can't get any further than that in this space. Okay, that takes us to its turn. It's skittered back against the door, trying to adjust and figure out where it's supposed to be going. It's unsure of why it did that move, and you can see that there's a bit of confusion, and it centers its target on, it's going to be between the two of you because you're two most messing with it. It is going to go for you, Ulua. And so it's racing
not me
forward.
as the largest threat.
Yeah. You're just a happy rainbow factory right now.
Worse things to be.
And as it skitters towards you, let's see. That's a natural 20. So that's a total of 10 points of piercing damage.
All right.
Okay. Jess.
Me. Okay. Yes. I'm going to... This might be a very bad idea, but I'm going to... Essentially, I have to touch this creature, so I'm going to essentially punch him and try to inflict wounds.
Okay. Roll the attack, I think.
Yeah. +3. 16.
That hits.
This is why I wanted to do this, because I get 3 D10s.
Get him.
20 points.
20 points of damage?
Yeah.
Describe the end of this creature.
Right? 9 + 6 + 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Describe the end of this creature in your office.
Heavy hitter.
I just yelled, "Don't mess up my brother's office!" And I punch it in the gut. And then I imbue pain that shimmers out from my punch. So makes him rust.
This creature of rust, punched by you, cracks all over its armor as a rusty creature rusts itself and corrodes away. And then there's a shimmer. And the shimmer collapses and coalesces, and the creature collapses on itself, and then it disappears. Left behind are a few trinkets that drop to the ground.
What are they?
And in that moment, you hear another knock, which, now that we're making it canon, sounds a lot like some chimes.
I yelled, "Don't answer that door."
Yeah, I'm essentially like, I've got a gash across my chest, and I'm like, do you happen to have maybe like a peephole next time you can check and see who's outside before you just let anybody in?
I think there's a peephole. Yeah, let me go look. Quickly, what are the trinkets? Before I go peek.
You see that there's a pile of uncorroded metals of various sorts, and they all have a sheen to them. Whatever was previously covering them having been rusted away, but these are metals that are not rustable. They're not of the steel family. They were part of other things. And it seems that this creature, although its disappearance was a little strange, it still had the refined metals from its corroding, rusting thing.
I just quickly go, I assume y'all don't want any metal. You don't need any of metals. And I just collect all of it, put it in one of my pockets. I'm like, metal.
They're like fancy high-end metals that are great for smithing or, in your case, your tinkerings.
Yeah. And then I'll go, I don't know, does the door have a peephole?
Yes, it does. And as you're going up to it, you just kind of hear in the back of your head, make sure you always check before answering the door.
Shit.
It's a voice. It's a familiar voice.
Where were you earlier?
Voice. Yeah, peeking through the hole, you can see Sticky Beak patiently waiting outside, looking around.
I want to say through the door, if you are who you are, how do you know me?
Seraphina? Are
How
you
do
okay?
you know me?
Your brother was my protege. I'm trying to help you
Okay,
out.
okay.
Boost up your...
I open the door. Hey, just had to make sure.
Is everything okay? And he looks around and sees...
See me bleeding over in the corner.
Oh. And he reaches into a pouch at his side and pulls out a healing potion. Here, drink this.
Thanks.
Are you okay? You have you're here, and he hands you another healing potion, Seraphina.
What?
Oh,
Where's Gus? Is Gus okay?
My pride is very injured.
He looks in his pouch. It's a rough life, and I don't have a tincture for that.
That's okay.
No, you just missed
I just
big
look up at the giant
monster.
photo of young me on the wall, and I'm like, and then like look back at this.
Oh.
I mean, it's sad, but it's also super funny.
You just missed a fun little assassination attempt. So that was fun.
Who tried to assassinate you?
I described the lady I saw before she went up and missed.
Oh, maybe these cases aren't that dissimilar. I'm fairly certain she was at the gala. Based on your description, he describes back to you the same individual. She left in a rush. Well, a lot of people left in a rush. Things didn't go quite as... I shouldn't have been there in the first place, and I was there. Well, neither here nor there. Did you find out who...
We have
or
a
what
solid
or why?
lead.
It was
We're
solid
trying
lead.
to find the stage manager.
The stage manager.
We suspect is at least involved in some way.
And at that point, now that we are in a at least enclosed area amongst friends, I'm going to open the ledger and start leafing through it to see if there's any
It's actually
pertinent
the
information.
Necronomicon, and now you're dead. I'm just kidding.
Opening up the ledger, you read through, and it is truly astounding, the information that's in here. It helps you put some of the pieces together. The two individuals who followed you up on the rooftop were definitely mobsters, card sharks of a sort, and this ledger details out the debts owed and the questionable expenditures of a lot of tangential to the Hollow Council and tangential to some of the Ascendants, a lot of corruption and foul dealings. And it's all collected in kind of a financial ledger, but also a blackmail list. And it is
Leaves
clear
this laying around.
what was hidden. You did investigate and find it tucked away. But
I would not leave this at my place of work.
it does detail that there beneath the stage is a hidden casino, a gambling space where all of these activities go down. And the stage manager just merely keeps the Skylark as a front. And as you thumb through it, a scrap of paper slips out. On that little scrap,
grab it and read it.
it much more clearly illuminates. Celeste knows too much. She stumbled into too many moments where she shouldn't have been there. She needs to be taken care of, and quickly.
Is the note from anyone, or is it just anonymous?
It's clearly written in a finer stationery, the type of stationery that those in the Hollow Council, it's not ascendant levels unless they're being a little bit less obvious in their things and trying to be a little bit more sneaky, which isn't really an ascendant tendency anyways. This is definitely a much more Hollow Council sort of dealing. But reading through it and putting together the pieces, there is this underground casino with some very high stakes, both in terms of blackmail and in funds, being laid out. And there is also other things at play here. Hints that Celeste may have been connected to some rebellious group that was pushing against the Council or the Ascendant. And the stagehand may be in play as a pawn to these other groups to frame the troop, get rid of Celeste. Just like looking through this, the more damning it is, the more you look through it.
Mm.
It could easily be used to either blackmail those in power or to frame and vilify the members of the Skylark troop. Just depends on how it was used. And I think the three of you have a choice. You could expose the council through this. You could play both sides to your own advantage using this, or you could continue to try to resolve this murder. Or something else that you could creatively come up with.
Well, we could expose the council, but I'm not confident that anything would really be done.
There's too much nuance at work within the council. I'm sure people have mechanisms for this type of slander when it arises. However,
You have no idea how correct you are.
I might have more of an inkling than you think. Presumptuous of you. However, we may be able to take instances described here and use them to our advantage to perhaps create situations that may be used against certain people or organizations. I am more of a procurer of information, but I do, once other people, such as our good friend Sticky Beak here, as well as my personal contact, they tend to analyze and facilitate those types of situations. So I am happy allowing them to take the lead, as it were, on that. And I turn to Sticky Beak and I say, we aren't sure that the stage manager is the murderer, but all signs definitely indicate he was involved. Do you have any resources that could help us perhaps locate him? And maybe once we've rested a bit and recuperated, we could seek him out and perhaps garnish it. Garnish. That might be right. Not right word. Garner a confession. Not garnish. Sleep. I don't know.
I like garnish a confession.
You know what?
And that was Seraphina. Be like, I like that way.
No.
Like,
She's more eloquent
that
than
way.
that. She would not make that mistake. She's literally from the College of Eloquence. There's no way that Ulua would make that mistake. Not canon. Nope. If you're gonna make it canon, then I'm gonna cast Gift of Gab.
That's how Ulua has made it through so far. She just gifted gabbed her way through everything. Let me look that up first. Gift of gab. Well, I can say that any individual caught out in this way, knowing that, well, whatever they tried to do here was unsuccessful, they're not going to be easy to spot. They're going to go into hiding, and that's going to be a hunt we'll have to take quite seriously. But they're not going to return to the Skylark, and we can reassure the Skylark troop now that at least one issue is out of the way. And I'm sure if you go and visit them, they'll want to reward you handsomely. But this
Do
just...
they have the funds to do that?
Let's just say that there's a benefactor in their lives that would have left quite a bit or laid quite a bit by for a certain songbird. And that benefactor will not let this go easy and knows that she would not want the troop to end their performances this early. So they will be successful. It is certain. But for you, I owe you each a favor, and I need to ask that perhaps you step a little deeper into the mire, because the woman you've described fits a certain situation that has come a-brewing. But first, rest. Give yourselves a couple of weeks, and we'll gather together again.
I mean, well, in the meantime, as I said, this ledger is yours. You know how to find me. I give Seraphina and Gus each one of my cards, and I say, if either of you feel so inclined, you're more than welcome to visit me, and stay in touch. Or I might catch you at Celia's.
And as you head out, Sticky Beak hands you a small pouch.
Me?
Each of you. But I'm going to wait for Gus to share how Gus is going to end, and then Seraphina.
Well, it seems that the ubiquitous nature of corruption in the council is going to cause us ongoing issues that may want us dead, so everyone be careful. I think we can use the information in this book to our benefit, maybe to open some doors if we need to. But for now, we should keep our ears to the ground and meet again in a couple of weeks.
And you have some of the most tragic history with this type of machination. I appreciate you coming out, old friend, and thank you. And he hands you a pouch. Seraphina, my dear, this isn't how I expected to help get the agency on its feet again, but thank you. He hands you a pouch and heads out into the early twilight.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. This was our first arc with Sticky Beak, Ulua, Gesunden Schniffel, and Seraphina on our new campaign. Check in next week for even more ridiculousness and fun. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you find your pod. Thank you and goodbye.
If you're watching, make sure to click like and subscribe. And if you're listening, also subscribe. And we have a bunch of old episodes that you can listen to from Campaign 1.
Yay, Campaign 2.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.